Naseer started early, made his way quickly through the lot, and then I arrived.
Then you arrived.
As long as I'm the last, I'm okay.
Welcome to Humans of Bombay. We are so excited to have you. I think Kirti was telling you offline that when we were making our wish list for the show, you were like on top of that list. So
Thank
we
you.
waited very, very long.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Very happy that you're happy. Excited to have like a very interesting conversation. I feel it'll be very different.
Hopefully.
Okay, so I'm going to start with this question. You recently in one of your interviews said that they can barely write good parts for Deepika Padukone. How are they going to write good parts for me? I want to ask, do you think that female-centric roles in Bollywood have evolved and changed? Or what is your perception generally on this topic?
Well, I had been saying this about various actresses. Deepika was the latest because she was the flavor of the month when I said that.
Yeah.
But before that, I've said that about Madhuri, for example.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to write good parts for women, period. Doesn't matter who, even for the top women, except for a few filmmakers, somebody like Bimal Roy, who wrote absolutely brilliant parts for women, or somebody like Mehboob Khan. So there have been, but very few. And now I don't think I can say that with such confidence, because people are writing parts for women. And it has changed. And they're writing parts for women of all ages.
Yeah.
Now, that's the really happy change for a person like me or many other actresses of my generation.
Correct.
You know, we still want to act. We still know how to act.
Yeah.
So it's great that we are getting parts
Right.
that give us an opportunity to do so. So I feel that, yes, there are many changes. And yes, there's going to... we're going to take time to figure out many things. For example, a lot of the films tend to have women either as like a replacement for the male star. A female star who bashes up people or who carries guns and looks really macho most of the time. So it's a woman replacing the male idea of heroism. Which means aggression, which means passion, a foul tongue, etc. These are the kind of things that women, particularly star vehicles for women, tend to be like. But I prefer a life apart from those, the kind of movies that are made that are not so focused on projecting one idea of a hero.
Yeah.
Luckily, those kind of films are being written.
Yeah.
A film like Badhai Ho, for example, or Lipstick Under My Burqa, for example, where there are 4 women of different ages. I'm doing another one called Dhak Dhak, which also has 4 women of different ages doing a motorbike trip to Khardungla.
Yeah.
Yep.
How interesting.
Yes, I'm one of the 4.
Wow.
I'm riding a Bullet 350.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. And I think it's absolutely correct, in terms of like masculinity and heroism, that, okay, let's at least fill that void.
Correct.
You see less of that because now you're seeing more like feminist or like feminism or just feminine roles.
Right.
You're a strong character in real life. I mean, on screen we can go on and talk about, but even in real life. What would you say kind of molded you into becoming this person, right? Like, let's go back to your childhood. What was that like? What are some of the values you picked up there that you've kind of carried forward in the way you've conducted yourself in life?
Yes, I would say a lot of the way I am is because of the kind of family I grew up in, the kind of exposure I had in a city like Mumbai, with the kind of work my parents were doing. They were both involved in not regular jobs. My ma was an actress on the stage in those days, largely. And she used to work as a translator of... she used to translate into Gujarati many of the publications of the Soviet cultural embassy.
Oh, wow.
So they ran a little paper called Soviet Land. And Ma used to do the Gujarati translations for that. So Ma was a working woman always. My dad was a businessman, and he was also involved in the theatre. He loved watching plays, and some of his closest friends were busy with doing all kinds of plays in Gujarati. INT, Damu Jhaveri and Malti Jhaveri. They were very important part of my growing up. So these are the kind of people I was surrounded with. My aunts were both actors and connected with the theatre. They were political people, all of them, the whole family. My mother's family was communist, and my dad's family was RSS.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine the
That
conversation.
that dining room conversation would
Was
be
a killer.
very interesting. Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
And my family, they were all like that. My dad's family also,
Yeah.
in a very different kind of way, but extremely modern and forward-thinking kind of people. Nobody ever asked me to be something or do something because I'm a woman. Never. I think I came out of that experience with a lot of confidence, also with an understanding that life can be more than just earning a living and getting married and having children and dressing yourself up and going to a party.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people like that around me as well, and I didn't really want to be part of that. So that helped.
Yeah.
That I was given a platform from which I could spring much higher.
Right. Of course, we have to talk about your sister.
Yes.
And I mean, it's amazing. It's like, what is up with this family? Like, how are two people so talented and have emerged? Like, I just saw Love Per Square Foot very
Yes.
recently. I was like, how does she do this? You know, like she's like, I'm watching it for her. What was it like growing up with her? And like, you know, after when you're in the same industry, any fun memories, any fun anecdotes?
I was a horrible older sister. At least that's what Supriya says very confidently. And I think I agree with her. I was a bit of a bully. But she used to waffle so much about everything. Should we do this? Should we do... Let's do something. So I'd take over. So anyway, Supriya holds it against me. That's all right. We were not terribly close when we were kids. I preferred hanging with older people. So Supriya and all were too young and too much of a nuisance. They needed to be looked after and all that. So I didn't bother with her. Fortunately, when we grew up and we discovered that actually, we're not so bad each other and we can actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
So we began to make friends with each other, I think only after we entered our teens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And after that, I now today believe that I'm glad we got all the anger and the jealousy and the stupidity out of the way when we were kids.
Yeah.
Because now we can actually be friends. And we are.
Yeah.
We love each other's company. We know that the other is there at any step of the way. And it's wonderful to have somebody who has shared past with you.
Yeah.
So I'm deeply grateful that we have that opportunity today. She's a very different kind of actress from the sort I am. I'm much more cerebral.
Yeah.
She's much more instinctive. And the fact that both of us are getting work, it makes it a little easier because then you don't have to say, she's getting the work, I'm not. So it's okay.
It's all good.
It's all good so far.
Yeah. And what were you like in your formative years, when you started like dabbling with theatre? Of course, the exposure to theatre was there from the very beginning. But when you started considering it as a career, was there ever like a hesitation that, it will be... Was there a hesitation in terms of, okay, theatre is fine, but like I want to get into Bollywood ever? Or was it just that you loved what you were doing and I'm just going to do it and figure it out?
I really can't say if I was thinking so clearly.
Right.
All this is hindsight.
Yeah.
At that moment, you are just wanting to do whatever comes your way.
Yeah.
Theatre came my way first. And as I said, I've been living backstage, growing up backstage. So it was a very easy, happy space for me. And the kind of people I was working with at that time, Satyadev Dubey, who I consider to be my guru, Dubey ji and Ipta and people like that. Now, it was a completely different kind of environment from what my mother used to work with. This was not a commercial theatre at all.
Yeah.
nobody made any money. So suddenly, when money is eliminated, then what is left? Then ideas are left. Effort is left. You don't have the money to put together a great set or fancy costumes or anything. So you've got to think of how to communicate what you want to communicate. So it was a new way of thinking. I made a lot of young friends in the process. And those are the friends that have lived with me and lasted all these years, people from the theatre. And I was expecting to get some work in movies, no doubt. Everyone used to sit in my drawing room, and talk about this movie being put together and that movie and who shall be cast and what will be the script and all kinds of discussions, because Naseer was in more than half of them.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was part of the everyday situation at home. But I didn't get work. And that did surprise me. I mean, I used to wonder, why? What's the problem?
How long was this period?
This was rather long, because I'd gone to the NSD. I came back from the NSD in 82, and there was absolutely nothing coming my way, except for a couple of films, Mandi, Sham's Mandi. Yeah. And I think he just did it as a favor. Naseer and I had just gotten married, and he was going to take Naseer away for 2 months. So he said, "Acha, tum bhi chalo saath mein." So I was tagged along, I think. My role, if you blink for 2 seconds, I'm gone. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was learning. I fortunately didn't have too much of an ego.
Yeah.
So I just thought, let's see what life shows me.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm going to take it.
I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
And, but I have to say, the meaty parts, the parts that I would have liked to do were not coming to me. And it did bother me. But I didn't try hard enough. One of your questions was, what is one of your big weaknesses or flaws or something, right? I think that's it. I don't try hard enough. I didn't dream enough.
So, if you were to paint it, you were just content, or were you just? You're not. Was it tied to ambition in a certain way?
It wasn't tied to ambition. Yes, there was contentment. Yes, because I was very happy in my marriage and in whatever I was doing in the theatre. I was feeling satisfied. But I was looking for work, paying work in particular. I did want to earn my own living. I didn't want to live off a husband or a father or anyone. I wanted to stand on my own feet. So this was a conundrum. And then fortunately, Anand Mahendru came over and said, I'm making a... That was when Doordarshan was just opening out and Z was starting up and all these new ideas were coming around. So these guys came... Anand came up to me and said, I'm doing this comedy. Would you like to be in it? And I said, comedy? I've never done it. I don't even know if I can. I don't think I'm very funny. Nobody else thinks I'm funny. So, are you sure? And he said, yes, I'm sure. So, would you do it? And you and Supriya. And the parts are, one of them is a silly air hostess, the dumb blonde, classic dumb blonde. And the other is the intelligent, focused, intelligent person who is an ad person. I said, oh shit, this is my role. I know it. I'm going to be stuck with this serious, intelligent ad person. So he said, I want you to play the air hostess. And my jaw dropped and I said, yes, of course I am going to do this. I was great because I didn't know anything about what I was doing there.
Or like comedy. Because
comedy. Fortunately, some of the lines were funny. And Anand had a crazy sense of humor. We were all young. We were all learning on the job. Ravi Baswani, Anand Mahendru, Supriya, Shammi auntie was the only senior in our gang. And everyone was making mistakes. We took 7 days to shoot one episode. Can you believe it? People wouldn't let you do that. You finish a whole series in 7 days nowadays. But yeah, it was crazy, but it was fun. And that's what hooked me then. I said, okay, I can make a living as an actor. I have to find what kind of actor and what kind of parts will I get. It took time. But Naseer used to say that you are probably not the kind of person who will get work when you are young. Maybe it's when you're older.
Really?
And I said, yeah, sure. I mean, I have to just sit around waiting till then.
till
Fortunately, I got a little bit of stuff also. But as it happens, I've got more work when I grew older than I did as a young woman.
That's like, I mean, how would you have the foresight to say something like that?
He considers himself quite, um, and he thinks very deeply about actors. So he probably saw that I wasn't ready, and I wasn't. Now when I look back,
Yeah.
I realize I wasn't ready.
Mm.
I really wasn't ready to make a presence felt. I could slide in with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I didn't have the weight and the understanding of acting
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time. That's another thing. That's one of the great revelations to me. You feel that when you're young, that's when your mind should be buzzing and that is when you're going to do your best. In my case, no. I was pretty stupid and I stayed stupid for a very long time.
But you've been happy.
Yes, I was happy.
Yeah.
Stupid people are often happy. You know, they're the happier than the more grim people in the world.
Stupid people are often happy.
Yeah, they're happy. And that stupidity gave me a chance to do many things.
Yeah.
Have a family.
Yeah.
Have another life.
Yeah.
I started working in education, which I still continue to do.
Right.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
So all these things could happen because I was stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about that part of your life. How did you meet? I know you all were part of the same theatre group, but how did you fall in love?
We were doing a play together.
Yeah.
And it was very presciently called Sambhog se Sannyas Tak.
Heavy.
Right. But very apt for us as it happened. So we, I don't know when we realized that we wanted to be together, but we did by and by. Pretty soon, actually. Pretty soon after we met, we were sure that we wanted to be together. And there, again, we were stupid. We didn't ask too many questions. Today, I see young people sort of going, is the right thing to do? Is this the right time? Is this the right person? We just went, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. Let's try it. And we tried it. And it worked.
Of course.
So, but it was total fluke. I cannot claim any, kya kehte hain? I can't claim any credit for that.
Yeah.
It just worked out.
It worked out.
Luckily.
Yeah. Was it ever difficult to deal with the fact that he had a former life and a partner before? Was that something that you ever considered as any form of hesitation, or you were in love?
No, I was in love, and the person concerned, I mean, his ex-wife he had been separated for a very long time.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, he had had several other relationships, and that also seemed to be history.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody gets to the age of 26 without having some part of your life affected by the person of the opposite sex.
Right.
So, yeah, Naseer started early, made his way quickly through the lot, and then I arrived.
Then you arrived.
As long as I'm the last, I'm okay.
Not before that. And how was life as a young married couple? You're both doing theatre, you're living.
It was
together.
fantastic. It was like nothing I'd imagined.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing of the married life number that I saw with my other friends, going to parties and doing pujas and doing family scenes. No, we were practically working from day. A week later, we went for a honeymoon, we came back, and Naseer was shooting Jaane Bhi Do Yaaro.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see him for days on end. That was the most amazingly mad, difficult shoot I've ever heard of, seen.
Yeah.
Naseer would just go and come back 3 days later, and there were no telephones in those days. So I didn't even know if he was alive, dead, had run away with somebody. I had no idea. But it was crazy that time. And we were rehearsing. Naseer was shooting a lot of the times. I would hang around at home, pottering around, playing house, more or less.
Playing house.
It was great. Yeah. And we had no responsibilities. We had nobody to think about, worry about.
Yeah.
It was a very happy time.
Yeah. It sounds.
And it lasted for a while.
Yeah. Do you think Sarabhai was the turning point of your career? I mean, of course, it was like iconic, I think.
My career as an earning actor, yes. Yeah. Because it's after that that people started noticing me and giving me work. Before that, I was just somebody in the background. And Sarabhai had a great script.
Yeah.
The writing is extraordinary. Everyone talks about the acting in Sarabhai, of course, the more visible thing. But it's the writing, the direction that made that program work, and the way in which it was presented by the producers and everyone, It was a show which was confident of itself.
Yeah.
It came out with a bang.
Yeah.
That made a difference.
Yeah.
Though I've said this umpteen times, when we were first on air, which is 2004 or thereabouts, 2005, we had a TRP of 0.63%.
0.63.
Right. Nobody saw it, not even my own mum. So, yeah, nobody understood it. They were, what's this? That's all they did about it.
Yeah.
And then when it went online, by then a new audience had grown up.
Yeah.
So it sort of came together beautifully. That the
at the right
audience
time.
was ready and this product was there for them, and the marriage was a successful one.
Yeah. It was, I think it's iconic. How do you feel about, having entered Bollywood from theatre? Was there a transition involved? The term outsider is used very loosely, very largely today. Is that something that you felt or dealt with, those emotions? Or was it something that you think a few narratives strung together and it became a perception, but it's not necessarily the case?
Oh no, it is true, very much true. And it has always been true. People from the industry, people with connections, have always been able to get to the producer, let us put it that way, faster than a person from outside.
Correct.
Once having got to the producer, then will that producer take interest in you? Depends upon you. I understand that. But that first approach is easier.
Yeah.
At that time, there weren't star parents pushing star kids into the market. Now we are doing that. Everyone's launching kids right, left, and center. And not just in the film world, everywhere else. In industry, in politics, in everything.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about nepotism in the film industry. What about nepotism in politics? What about nepotism in corporate life?
Yeah.
So let's not talk about, or sport, my goodness. Every sportsman with a child is pushing that person ahead.
Yeah.
So this is the old Indian principle, isn't it? We've always believed that the family is a cartel. It looks after its own.
Yeah.
It looks after its own. It pushes you forward, even if you don't deserve it. I happen to be in the family, so I must be protected and pushed.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. You'll use any influence possible to get your kid into a school or a job or anything. My maid does it. So does some top dog.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
So this is the old Indian idea. Okay, we not only look after ourselves, we look after our children, their children, their children. 7 पुश्तों के लिए कमाना है. 7 पुश्तों का इंतजाम करना है. It cuts out a lot of the fresh blood. But what's good about fresh blood is that it just lands as it is, as you can see today.
Yeah.
Plenty of fresh blood in the industry.
Yeah.
The old guys are shaken up.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because they really don't know how to address the changes.
Of course.
And these kids are coming in from all over the country, bringing stories that I have never heard of, showing me people I don't know, and doing it in an interesting way.
Yeah.
How fascinating is that?
Yeah. And you think Bollywood has evolved over the years from...
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
of course, it has evolved in
Yes, yes.
in certain ways, like the way
Yes.
films
Bollywood evolves like India. Elephant pace. Boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. That's how we do.
Yeah.
We go 5 steps forward and then 10 steps back. And then start again from scratch.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for centuries. And we've survived, so we'll do it again.
The cycle will keep moving.
Chalta rahega.
Okay.
Somehow, I suppose somebody up there is looking after our country. Because we make every mistake possible and get away with it.
Yeah. And survive.
And survive.
Yeah. You drew a very interesting parallel between Bollywood and India. So we finished asking you about Bollywood and theatre. Let's talk more India specific, right?
Oops. Now, I need to mind my words. And a quick message for the trolls. I don't read you. So don't bother, don't waste your time on me, please. Okay.
Before we even begin, the
Yes.
disclaimer has arrived.
Already. कह देना बेहतर है.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so obviously as a country, there's a lot we can do and better. But what would be the top 3 things that you would say, is something that we need to urgently fix for our country?
Exactly what our constitution tells us to fix. We need to think about our liberty. We need to think about equality in this country. And we need to think about fraternity. How people live together. भाईचारा, जिसे हम लोग हिंदी में आज तक बहुत बड़ी चीज समझते थे. So these are the things that we really have to fix. The inequality in this country is not fair, and it is going to have an impact that you cannot predict at the moment. I certainly can't. I'm sure many can, but I certainly can't predict at an emotional, at a human, at a societal level what the impact of this kind of social mood that I see around me today.
What about women? What do you think we as a country need to do?
We as a country?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You don't ask small questions, do you? Thank you. I would suggest that we should do... Is there anything anyone can say? No. This struggle is a long struggle. It's not aajkal ki baat.
Yeah.
It's not me who started feminism. There was Mirabai.
Yeah.
So many centuries before that.
Yeah.
There was the beautiful dancing woman in Mohenjo-daro.
Yeah.
I mean, women have had to make place for themselves through history. And we have done it pretty well. We have not been given enough credit. That is a pity. But now we will take that credit. We will demand it.
Yeah.
It might be ugly, but I'm afraid our time has come.
Yeah.
And I would be very happy to see what young women do with the kind of world that they are going to see ahead.
No.
Because it's going to be a tough one. We've made the women ready for a new world. We haven't made the poor men ready for the new woman. Unka kya karenge bicharon ka?
Yeah.
You see, they have grown up with a huge load, tremendous baggage. Men in this country have it very hard. Men generally have it very hard. And in our country, I mean, we've made some serious mistakes in the bringing up of our sons.
Yeah. And how we raised them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We make them entitled little snobs most of the time. So, I mean, as you sow, so shall you reap.
Yeah.
So we've been reaping that rubbish so far.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow, if I refuse to sow that rubbish again, then maybe I'll get a new kind of crop.
Yeah, crop. Okay, we'll go to the next segment. It's called Things About You We Couldn't Find on Google. So we've looked. Now
My birth date.
Okay, so let's start.
It's got it wrong.
What's your birth date? We'll correct it.
It's the 7th of August.
Okay.
It's not the something of March. They put me in March all the time. So I get wished twice a year.
That's amazing.
That's all right. I don't mind.
No complaints.
No complaints.
One role that you want to play?
Dozens of roles that I want to play. I'm not done yet. But I'd like to play something that is not easy now. I've done too many. These roles now I can do. The bitchy mother, the kind mother, the intelligent mother, the clever mother, the funny mother. All these I've done. But I'd like to play a person with a certain challenge. For example, a physically challenged person or a mentally challenged person. I've never done a part like that. Yeah. I've never done a drunk. I've never done a villain.
Oh.
I'd love to.
Yeah. What's your favorite character that you've played?
Oh, dear. Well, many. But Maya, of course, very much so.
Yeah.
And Sunita from Kapoor and Sons. And Usha from Lipstick Under My Burqa. Yeah. These three in the films really, or in the digital space, definitely those are the things. And on stage, a play called Dear Liar, that that is about the relationship between George Bernard Shaw and Mrs. Patrick Campbell, an actress of that time. Very nice.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm very proud of.
Amazing. What's your favorite couple activity with?
Rehearsing for a play.
Really?
Absolutely.
Your biggest fear?
Oh. That I'm going to be old and stupid. I was young and stupid. It was okay then. But old and stupid is very scary.
Yeah. An unknown skill that you have?
Unknown तो नहीं है ऐसा कोई बहुत ज़्यादा. Unknown में क्या है? Maybe generally it is not known, but I love costumes. I have been doing costumes for a long time for all our plays and things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yes, I love design of all kind.
Okay. Favorite genre that you like to watch?
Musicals.
Oh, yeah.
I love musicals.
How cute.
And I love comedies, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. The next segment is, how would Maya Sarabhai react or respond to the following situations?
I'm not Maya Sarabhai.
I mean, you've lived the character, so what's your take?
No, it's other people putting words in my mouth.
So, you want to give it a go?
Oh, no, we'll try.
Okay. If she saw someone fighting with a rickshawala for change?
So maybe Maya would say, at least beta, say, change rakho, please keep change, you imbecile moron, instead of saying, chutta kyun nahi rakhta? That is linguistically middle class.
What if she were in a restaurant with someone and they asked the manager if they would take a discount code?
That sounds like Monisha, so I suppose she'd say, discount coupon? तुमको मोनिशा ने काटा है क्या? Actually, आजकल तो मोनिशा भी ये use नहीं करती.
If we asked her how was her time at Humans of Bombay?
Oh, that can I answer on my own?
Yeah, okay, you can answer.
I think Maya would more or less say the same thing.
Yeah.
Thank heavens for some intelligent conversation, dears.
Wow, that's amazing. Validation for me. Us, all of us. Last questions. We came across this quote of yours that said, even in their own families, women don't feel welcome. And that stops them from achieving the things that they want. It never stopped you. But a lot of girls in India, where they are at currently, face this on a daily basis. A piece of advice you'd like to give them?
That's a really tough situation. It's not entirely restricted to women, though. I think everyone goes through that situation of not being given the kind of opportunities that you deserve. So, I guess this is one way to figure out for yourself what you are made of. हम में कितना दम है? हम कितनी एफर्ट कर सकते हैं? जब सामने से कोई सपोर्ट ना मिले या सामने से अड़चन मिले, do you still have the courage to keep going at it? I think that's a question that all of us have to answer several times in a lifetime. I have had to answer this many times for myself. And I don't think that I've been able to say, yes, I can each time. Sometimes I've had to step back.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's my choice. And I will try again. That's the nice part about life. And theatre. You get the next show.
What a fab closing. And thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing and exceeded all expectations as we were hoping and expecting. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing this with us.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you. If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon. Thank you all for being the best community, and I'll see you soon.